New York young Republican club president. His name is Gavin Wax, and he's with me right now. All right, Gavin, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Trump says he could win New York State. You want to take that on?
Listen, I think by any measure, even the worst case scenario, he's certainly going to be doing better than any Republican since Reagan. I think the 40s is very likely. I think we're seeing a lot of similarities in his polling and his momentum, as we saw with Lee Zeldin's gubernatorial race. And that obviously was a big shocker, a big surprise. Lee getting 47% here in a very blue state. So there's things moving in his direction. But look, I think visiting New York, like the previous guest just mentioned, this is talking to Americans across the entire country, not just New Yorkers. I mean, you go to Long Island, this is the birthplace of the American suburbs. Suburban reversion is a big part of that strategy, moving back these neighborhoods, these towns, these communities that were originally Republican bastions, winning over working class voters. He had the steam fitters endorsement last night. Huge thing. So he's speaking to all Americans. He's speaking on different stages, and he's helping the Republican Party writ large all the way down the ballot.
Can he take the Jewish voter away from the Democrat Party in large numbers?
Absolutely. And look, I think when we talk about electoral math like this, it's not about just winning absolute majorities, because the Democrat coalition is based on these 90, 80% cohorts that are all voting their way. So if you chip away a few percentages on the margins, you make a big difference. So you don't have to win every different group we're talking about, but if you move the numbers, you move the numbers in urban America, you move the numbers in suburban America, Jewish voters, whoever it may be, all of a sudden your coalition gets really big really quickly. In a place like New York, you could do that.
I got to tell you, when I go out on Long Island, once you get out of the city, Trump all the way. Once you go north of the city, I mean, it's plastered with Trump signs. Yeah. I don't see any Harris signs in upstate New York.
It's true. Look, I think the geographic distribution of President Trump, it's looking like a reverse FDR coalition. FDR had the urban American vote. He had the rural American vote. I think Trump is moving his numbers up in urban America. You saw that with the highly successful Bronx rally. Now you're seeing it with big rallies in the suburbs. I think this can play nationally. He's building a new coalition, a new Republican Party.
We've got Fox poll, of course, we've seen that. We've also got a New York Times Siena poll that shows nationally Trump and Harris are just in a dead heat. It's 47-47. What do you think Trump has to do to break out, take the lead?
Well, listen, I think he has to continue to do what he's been doing, staying on message, being focused, talking to the issues that matter. You know, these suburban voters that he addressed last night, they care about mortgage rates. They care about inflation. They care about crime creeping over from the cities. They care about, you know, their social services being overwhelmed by a migrant invasion. So continuing to hit those points, speaking directly to the American people, I think he's going to come on top. And look, these polls, historically, he's never polled this well before. And even with some of these polls neck and neck, you factor in the margin of error, you factor in polling bias. I think he's really up in a lot of these states, and I think the polls are starting to reflect that. The honeymoon period is certainly over.
You are hopeful, are you not, Gavin Wax?
Very hopeful. We'll see what happens, and I think we'll have a last month or two of a very intense race ahead of us.
Oh, yeah. We're in the middle of it.
Yes.
Gavin Wax, you're all right. Thanks so much, sir.
Appreciate it.